Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream. The feeds just came back from the nominations. Oh, I think you can hear him. Hold on. Hold on. Hello. Whoa, hello. We were hanging out. The feeds came back. I actually tried to be nice. I prayed for her to win HOH. She's exactly who she was 10 years ago. Nasty, conniving. And I will say that to her face. Oh. Meanwhile, Morgan's crying upstairs to Rachel. We're just we're just soaking it in here. Look at this guy. Look at him. How cute he is. Oh, hold on. Hold on. We got all caught up in. Hello. Say hi. Oh, he loves it. You gotta hear him purr. You wanna purr? Can you hear that? I don't know if you can hear it. Oh. Um. All right. Sorry. I know I'm not talking a lot. I'm just hanging out with my kitten. If you're watching the YouTube video back, you're like, "What the hell is going on?" Rachel Riley, the HOH, just made her nominations. Um, we came back from the feeds just now. We saw that Mickey, Morgan, and Vince are on the block. Mickey is downstairs crashing out to Ashley, Ava, and Will, calling Rachel conniving and nasty. Morgan is upstairs crying to Rachel. The big thing here, not only did we not know exactly what these nominations were going to be, but Mickey made a very long pitch to Rachel just before the feeds went down for the nominations. That was very awkward and I would say pretty see-through. At first, I actually thought there was a chance it was going to work, but I think she potentially made a couple of missteps along the way. We'll get into that in the update. Um, and Rachel did say some things like, I thought I knew what I was going to do, but I'm not sure now. I maybe need to talk to some people. Oh, hold on. I just had a good idea for a tweet. Oh, man. Hold on. I need to screenshot this. How do I screenshot? Is there a screenshot option in BB Viewer? I don't usually do screenshots. Okay. Things change all the time. I can't hear all the time. Laura, thank you for becoming a robot over there on YouTube. Um, that did not work. Hold on, hold on. I just feel like I have a good idea for a tweet here. I want to do like how it started versus how it's going. Guys, there's beef. I heard there's beef. But but the point is, at the end of the day, Rachel was not convinced by Mickey to change what she was doing. And they're now both on the block, Morgan and Mickey. Now, I really don't know who the intended target is here for Rachel. That I'm still not aware of. The way she's talking to Morgan is certainly trying to imply that she's not the target, but that's what you should be doing. Okay, now I need the image of Mickey and Morgan up in the HOH room after the Jimmy nom. I need to find that. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I got it. All right, let me see if I can. Look, I'm not good at this. I'm not really a. Oh, that's going to be not exactly what I want, is it? Yeah, that didn't work. Hold on, I'm trying to listen to Ashley and Will. They always whisper so quietly, Will and In my haste, I didn't even get a good image of Mickey and Morgan. This tweet isn't going to work very well. It sounds like they are complaining. I think the reason they're complaining, and honestly, it's a little bit justified, granted, I haven't been able to hear all of what they're saying, is that Rachel, again, didn't consult them about this at all, didn't tell them what she was going to do ahead of time. I think that that's such a crucial part of being the HOH, and she really did skip that whole situation. Oh, this is a much better screenshot from Big Brother Junkie. Oh, it's not even, it's just the start of the video. There, so the main thing here is that Ashley's annoyed that Catherine and Riley are not on the. This is actually really funny because this is the third HOH where somebody makes nominations without consulting their allies and doesn't nominate Riley and Catherine, pissing their allies off. This is the first instance where I think it actually makes sense to have not put up Riley and Catherine. But obviously, it does need to happen at some point. It's just like the thing is, Rachel for sure knew that she needed to take care of. Rachel has a block of Vince, Mickey, Morgan that she just needs to take care of. That's just the bottom line. There's nothing she can do about them. Her best case scenario would have been able to target Riley and Catherine, but she needs to deal with these people first. This isn't a situation where it's Mickey targeting her own ally instead of Mickey Morgan. Or sorry, instead of Riley Catherine. What is Ashley on about? What is happening? I mean, I will say, I think it's fair to be annoyed that she wasn't consulted, but she's going way off the deep end here. I mean, we do have to remember that Ashley wanted Keanu out over both Vince and Zach last week. Will talking some sense now. I mean, this whole situation with Ashley, I think, could be avoided just with a conversation that Rachel probably already should have had and should have. She probably thinks she's had enough of a conversation already because she, you know, Ashley already told her they were trying to get her out last week. So she's again kind of. Vince walking in on Kelly and Rachel whispering. It sounded like I didn't quite catch it. It sounded like Rachel was able to talk to Kelly right before Noms. So okay, basically the big thing that that Mickey did is she gave true information that Kelly was actually throwing Rachel under the bus to her. Rachel was disappointed to hear this, wanted to talk to Kelly about it. Also gave relatively true information about things that Keanu was saying, which everyone says it's old Rachel. Um, basically taking things Keanu has said to Vinny, leaked to her, and then using that as a way to try to get Rachel to not trust Keanu anymore. And the thing is, all of what she was saying were things that Rachel has said to both Kelly and Keanu, so it's true information that leaked. But Rachel wanted to talk to Kelly about it. The thing was, I don't think she was ever going to get Rachel to target Keanu or Kelly last minute like that. But she does now have better ammo to use against Vince, even moving forward. Because a lot of the things that Keanu has talked only to Vince about, Mickey knew and tried to use against him. Q the Revolution, thank you for the subscription over on Twitch. Welcome to the Robot Army. Do I think Rachel is targeting anything on specifically? It's a good question. I honestly am not sure. I mean, really, for her, any one of them leaving is fine. There's pros and cons to each one. Morgan's probably the biggest comp threat. Vince is the biggest strategic threat. And Mickey is her biggest op in the jury. So honestly, I would take out Mickey. Because if Mickey's in the jury, that's just potentially somebody that will never ever vote for me and will campaign hard against me the whole time. And it's genuinely more dangerous to me than anything else. But again, I don't know that she knows just how much Mickey is against her in that sense at the moment. But honestly, I don't feel that strongly about it. I think any one of them leaving, again, has pros and cons. Barbara, thank you for the $1.99 over on YouTube. Vince already being Vince. What was that bad that I said that's Rachel? Keanu's like, come on, bro. Speak it with your chest, bro. Gotta have some confidence. Let's quickly talk votes for a moment, if we may. A Mickey versus Morgan final block. You should have Ashley, Ava, Will as Mickey votes to stay. You should have Keanu and Kelly Mickey votes to leave. It again might come down to Riley Catherine. That's why it's so dangerous. The position that they're in is so rough. I think Vince and Lauren keep Morgan. With Kelly and Keanu. There are 9 votes, though. So Catherine and Riley will decide it. Yeah. Alongside Will, Ashley, Ava. On the Mickey side. I have to imagine, though, they ultimately side with... Yeah. If Vince, Keanu, Kelly, Rachel are all on the side of wanting Mickey out, I think Riley and Catherine go that way. It would be very ironic. This is the power of this. I talk about this all the time. I talk about this all the time. As much as Zach talks about Ashley, or talks to Ashley, you put people into a corner long enough, they start eating each other. This is how you break up power structures. Rachel confronting Keanu a little bit, I think, about some of the things he said. I wish that. Yes. Oh my God, Keanu. Where did she get it from, Keanu? Think about it. Rachel, oh, it's frustrating. Rachel has the information from Mickey. There are things that Mickey said specifically that Keanu has told only to Vinny, and Vinny leaked to Mickey. But here's the thing. I wasn't paying. I was playing Night Rain while listening to that conversation. I wasn't keeping track. I wasn't focusing on like trying to make sure I remembered all of the things. It was a very long conversation. I think Rachel probably had a similar experience. I don't know if she remembered everything. But I remember listening to it and thinking, "Oh, I know he only told that to Vinny." And if she could remember all the details enough, I really think she could potentially break through a little bit. At least get him to like question Vinny about like, "Oh, you're talking to Mickey too much." I do think there is. So Lauren talked to Vinny earlier today. I need to make sure I put this in my notes actually, because I think it's more important than I originally thought. This was after Rachel talked to Lauren. Lauren talked to Vinny about trying to make it through the vote. Make it through the week, I mean. And how if they make it through this week, they can jump on with Riley and Catherine and be in a good spot again. Which I think is actually true. It's why it's pretty vital that Rachel holds on to the showmance pretty tightly right now. She needs to prevent them from digging in too deep with Lauren and Vince, because they both Lauren and Vince have good hooks. They're talking about Rachel's speech being iconic, which means I'm sure they're gonna cut it from the episode. So Keanu is saying if Mickey leaves, like implying Mickey is the target. Rachel is not disagreeing, but she is saying let's wait till the blockbuster to know for sure who our target is. Keanu, I guarantee you, in a spelling comp, I'm the only person with a 15 letter or 16 letter word. Rachel says, I have a 15-letter word. Instantly. Well, then I guess we'll both win. I mean, here's the thing Kelly and Keanu, but Kelly specifically, was super messy. She did tell Mickey those things. If Mickey were a better player and less messy herself, um, there's a world where that could have worked. She needed to not wait until right before the ceremony, I think. And she, again, needed to not be so messy prior to all of that. Oh, hold on. Rachel entering the room with. Oh, and they cut. But Rachel has told Kelly some things that Kelly has completely divulged and talked about Rachel to people like Mickey, and so that really was kind of a slam dunk. Like Mickey had a lot of dirt, um, but I think it was too little, too late, and there was way more dirt on Mickey herself, so it fell a bit flat. There's just no reason for Mickey to be running around doing one-on-ones with people the day before the HOH competition about backdooring Rachel, explaining her entire position in the game and how and what she planned to do to take Rachel out of the game. Why? Why do that? I mean, obviously, like, listen, we talked a lot about the various mistakes Mickey was making, along with plenty of other people. So we didn't like go too deep on every single one, but like that was wild. So I guess Mickey and Rachel did not talk much in there. It seems like they cut feeds from the Rachel Mickey interaction in case things got heated, I assume. I mean, they were in there for a good 60 seconds or so. They're gonna I mean, I was gonna say they're gonna make me hungry, but not entirely. Riley and Rachel. What is Riley saying? This is smart of Rachel. Having to explain to people that you're watching someone on Twitch, watching several strangers in a house live that's currently split in a four-way screen of your TV with extension to control set audio. So I think this is smart. So Riley is asking Rachel, "Who do you want us to vote out this week?" She's basically saying, "Well, who do you want? Like, I'm down for whatever. What is best for your game?" And he's saying, "I don't care. Whoever you want." It's a little bit like when you're applying for a job and they ask you your salary range, and you're like, "Well, what's your salary range?" And they're like, "Well, what are you looking at?" But it's primarily a good thing as well. Just I think Rachel not naming a target right now, I think is smart. She's completely correct. She keeps saying there's a veto and a blockbuster, and she's totally right. No point in her naming a target right now. Plenty of time to put that on her later, or on them later. Ava always looks like she just woke up. Ava not super supportive, I would say. Ava doing the same thing she did to Lauren, actually. I like Mickey. I get it. It's your HOH. It's not my HOH. I really should probably pay more attention to what Mickey's saying because we probably want to get some quotes for the update. There's just a very funny interaction with Rachel and Ava just now where Rachel was like, Mickey was trying to run the house. She was trying to run your HOH. And Ava was like, I know. I know. I was just trying to ignore it. I just wanted to be in my HOH room listening to the Beatles and looking at my boyfriend. Yeah, Mickey cannot accept that anybody liked Jimmy or that Jimmy liked anybody. I genuinely think that one of her biggest flaws in the conversation with Rachel to try to win Rachel over was focusing so much on Jimmy. People genuinely thought it might work because it seemed like she was making some progress. And I think if she says, Rachel, I made a mistake with Jimmy, I feel stupid. But I talked to Keanu and he told me all this stuff about Jimmy and I got all worked up and I made a mistake. I think she has a better chance for sure. But instead she just kept saying, "No, Jimmy was the right move. I made the move for Jimmy for you. I thought it would be better for your game, Rachel. You don't know what he was doing." Yeah, the manipulation tactics were out early and force. I actually think like there's some validity to the way she approached it. Like, "Hey Rachel, come sit over here." I mean, that particular one, I think was a little bit of a step too far. Rachel looked at her like, the thing I did like was the initial thing. "Hey, can you do me a favor? Can you promise me something? Will you be real with me?" That's something that's like Jimmy needed to do with her, you know what I mean? Like just break through and get to the meat of it. But it was just so overtly manipulative the whole conversation. I don't think I have to assume that Rachel saw through most of it considering she put Mickey on the block after. Britney Spears Circus. I didn't realize people would be so upset with me for not knowing about Britney Spears albums. I hope they realized that I was like, you know, a teenage boy at the time. A teenage boy who didn't listen to any pop music at all. I certainly heard the big singles, but I was even younger when those came out. Hey, Corey, what's up? We're just basking in the nominations. That's really what we're doing here. I was going over vote count as well because we didn't know what the noms would be for sure until now. But I stopped at Mickey versus Morgan. There's some more we can do there for sure if Vince stays on the block. Also, obviously, the renom I would assume is Lauren here, because honestly, I don't really see many other viable alternatives. Peace. Thank you for the 36th. I was also defending myself for not knowing about Britney Spears and her circus album. I'd be curious to know if Corey knows about Britney Spears' circus album. Where is my... Okay. Yeah, I think... I think Lauren is the only viable replacement nom here. Oh, this is bad. Ashley talking to Riley Catherine. I just don't want Ashley to get in trouble here. I feel like Ashley's going to say too much. These are all potentially anti-Mickey people. I don't know if, like, I just don't want her to complain to them in any way that she complained to Will. I did end up making the tweet, by the way. Wasn't exactly what I wanted it to be, but... Here we go. So this is going to be Ashley, Rachel. I think Rachel needs to do a bit of an apology here. I think Rachel needs to... Ashley going hard already on Kelly and Keanu. Basically, Mickey Morgan gave her the same kind of spiel they gave Rachel, and Ashley bought it where Rachel didn't, seemingly. I really think this is an important conversation for Rachel. I think she needs to really lock in Ashley here, because she can't afford to lose Ashley, especially to Mickey specifically. If Mickey does end up staying this week, that would be a very bad scenario. Yeah, I mean, especially again, because the Riley Catherine thing is... Riley and Catherine are like nuclear weaponry at this point. it's just like they are so dangerous to keep in this game every single week. And you really want to be in a safe enough space to disarm the house from them. And the sooner you can do that, the better. And if Ashley is not locked in with Rachel, then that makes it harder. It makes Rachel need to lean more on the showmance. Keanu, well, the thing about, so this is part of it. Keanu and Rachel, is Keanu and Riley Catherine. You can only choose one for Shield, I think. What are they? What is that? What is in her pants right now? Was that an accident? Oh. Oh, I'm just like, somebody tell her. I don't think Rachel can see. Ashley's not up now. So this is a red flag, obviously. I can't believe they changed angles. It's so there's so much. If you told me this was a costume punishment, I'd believe you. It's a red flag when you immediately are able to dismiss it. Like Ashley saying, I heard this is why Morgan was targeting you. And Rachel says, well, Morgan told me that she was targeting me because of something else. And Ashley's like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. But it's just clearly there's an agenda, right? Clearly it's not about the actual information. Ashley says, Rachel, it's all Keanu. You fell for it. Rachel says, I didn't fall for it. I have a plan. The toilet paper is a representation of the things she's saying. It does look like it was put there on purpose. Rachel, you really need to push back a lot harder here. I mean, this is the thing. I hate having to criticize HOHs that are just miles ahead of the previous ones, but um I really just feel like it's a mistake for Rachel to not talk to her allies to get them on board with this. If she's planning to put Mickey up and she knows that her allies are fans of Mickey to some degree, she needs to make sure that they are on board. She needs to give them the rundown on on all of the reasons why she's putting Mickey on the block. Especially when you're going against Mickey here, who is such an active player. Mickey has spent all day today working on these people and getting in their heads. And you need to be countering that. You need to be spending your time with them. Josh, thank you for the 44th. It's less about, I would say, having people to trust and more about like making sure that people are on board with your agenda, and making them feel included, like it's a collaborative process. And I think that like this is I think the clear example of why this was a failure of Rachel. We started last night with Ashley, Will, and Ava talking about how if Mickey finds herself on the block, it's her own fault for all of the stuff that she was doing. Less than, 24 hours later, Ashley is pissed that Mickey's on the block. Like that is a failure of locking that in, of making sure that your allies feel like they're on the same page as you. Catherine already floating to Mickey. She would prefer Morgan leave. Mickey already proposing that Riley pull somebody else off the block. Yeah, that makes sense. Sure. This conversation is boring. I don't know why we're stuck here. I mean, this is very likely just Catherine giving lip service. I don't doubt that Catherine would choose to evict Morgan of the three, but I also don't think that she's that set on keeping Mickey. I think she's just doing what she needs to do in this conversation. The Rachel Ashley conversation is obviously more important, but granted, the direction it was going, I don't think was necessarily like a good place. When I think of the 36th, I mean, I'm trying to like I'm trying to get in the headspace of Ashley. Like, why? Like, is there a world where it makes sense for Ashley to jump in with Mickey, Morgan, Vince, Lauren right now? I think the answer is just no. It's just no. And maybe the problem is that she doesn't see Lauren and Vince the way she should. Maybe the problem is she has weirdly too much faith in Mickey. But I mean, at the end of the day, Rachel's plan here just just benefits Ashley so much. One of Vince, Mickey, Morgan leaving is phenomenal. Rachel remains a big target. Keanu remains a big target. Kelly's a non-factor for Ashley. They're in a position of power this week because they're safe. They're close to the HOH. They can use that to further develop the relationships that they have. I think, man, yeah. I mean, there's no, I can't find the path where this makes sense. I think if you're Ashley, you happily are a vote for Mickey to stay. You happily take out one of Morgan or Vince in the process. It's not your fault. And then moving forward, you've now picked up, hold on, Ashley. Ashley, come on. You really think Keanu and Kelly masterminded this whole situation, Ashley? Really? Really? You really believe that, or are you lying for some reason? Come on. Ashley giving all kinds of bad info to Rachel now. Like, what is happening? What is her goal here? She's really killing the vibe, I gotta say. The Jimmy thing. I mean, Ashley doing all this for Mickey, who just like a couple days ago was talking about like, yeah, Ashley might have to go before jury. Ashley now full on lying. Literally the opposite of what she just told Rachel last night. I really, it's tough. If you're in Rachel's spot here, you don't want to make it clear that you're stumping for Keanu and Kelly, but you do need to get Ashley on board with you here. You really do. It's possible she's going for the tactic of, oh, damn, I did get tricked. Which could work, maybe. I don't love it, but Every time they bring it back to Jimmy, they lose her. You can see it. You can see it in her body language. They are holding on to that point so hard, and it makes no sense. They are so wrong about him, and Rachel knows it. She spent all week with the guy. This is why I feel like I don't know, like I don't have as much patience anymore. If I were having this conversation with Ashley, I'd have a hard time not just saying, "Why are you trying to manipulate me?" like what are we doing here, Ashley? Why are you doing this? Because I do that. I think you've probably seen me do that in Blood on the Clock Tower. You could have skated to 7 or 6 and then fight it out at the end. What are you even saying, Ashley? I just like, why can't we get through a single week without somebody just making awful moves for no reason? Just completely unforced errors. Abian, thank you for the $5. Who told Rachel that Morgan wanted to put Rachel on the block? Morgan did. Hold on. It's again, Rachel offering new information, Ashley not even interested in the information because she has such a specific agenda. Rachel says if she wins the veto, she'd have to rethink everything. I think she's lying. Um, especially with the evidence we just saw, which is that she basically said the same thing to Mickey. She said, "Oh, well, I'm gonna have to rethink everything now," and then she ended up putting Mickey on the block anyway. This is another like thing. Ashley saying, "I think Morgan believed me when I told you you weren't targeting her, or when I told her you weren't targeting her, even though I know you were." In the middle of Ashley trying to convince Rachel that Mickey wasn't targeting her. I don't know, Ashley. This game is hard. That's the biggest tell I've gotten from Rachel so far. I don't think Rachel says that genuinely. Ashley even sticking up for Vince. Here's the thing. This sucks. This sucks because what's happening right now is if I'm Rachel, I'm going, damn it. I really need to go all in on Riley and Catherine. Like, I have this problem area of Mickey, Morgan, Vince, Lauren, and now apparently Ashley wants to be with them. And I need to either stop her from doing that or I have more of a problem with these people and I really need to make sure I'm lumped in with Riley Catherine. Like, that's just where the pieces fall. But that's a problem because Riley Catherine are still too tight with Keanu. And you can't leave all of them in at the same time. So it's a significant problem. Because Keanu's not going to turn on Riley. It really put this really puts her in a jam. She needs to flip Ashley back. That's the only thing. I mean, if I'm her, I'm thinking It's just a much more annoying path without Ashley there. It seems like the toilet paper's gone. That's my guess. We haven't gotten an angle on it, but like the big thing for me here is that like I do think it makes sense for Ashley to want to keep Mickey around. But the thing is, you can do that while removing another one of her pieces so that she's more of your piece. And it's not your fault. Oh, Morgan left and you have to be more loyal to me because I have nothing with Morgan? Oh, Vinny left? Who has absolutely nothing with me? Who is a huge problem in the game? Oh, well. Sorry. Guess you have to be more loyal to me. Guess we're all going after Keanu and Kelly still. Guess we're all going to have to be looking at Riley and Catherine. All right. Okay. We don't need to keep this conversation is absolutely useless. It could have been an important conversation. It is. I mean, listen, it could be an important conversation if Rachel is actually being truthful in it, in the same way that the Mickey conversation for 2.5 hours could have been important if Rachel was actually buying into it. But I think we get the point at this point. I don't think we're getting anywhere from here. It's just every single week I have to write another person off, and then and if I start to kind of be like then I have to write them off again. Like, could you imagine if Rachel actually bought into this and actually backdoored Keanu or something? Genuinely, the whole season cooked. Not a single player worth anything. It's just like the thing is that like you often see a lot of mistakes early in the game But usually by, you know, around 40 days in, the classic day 44, they've gotten the hang of it. You know? It's just like, you know, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Yeah, no chat GPT for players coming in. Alex, thank you for the $5. You remember you asked who the winner pick would be a couple weeks ago? I said Zach. Who's the winner pick now? Honestly, it's pretty up in the air. If Rachel is humoring Ashley here and has a strong plan, like I hope she does, I think she's got a good shot. I think Riley is a top contender at this point. Keanu genuinely could be a top contender starting soon. I think this week is probably Vince still has a shot here because again, the thing is that Vince still has Lauren, he still has Keanu. He can still pull Riley and Catherine if he needs to. Vince can definitely make something work if he survives the week. So don't count him out. I was gonna say Ashley is really on the rise, but I don't know what's going on with her right now. Oh my god, the toilet paper is still there. I don't know how this conversation could be more embarrassing than the fact that she has had toilet paper in her pants this whole time. And everything that she's saying is also embarrassing. Oh boy. Anyway, yeah, honestly, the board is pretty open for winner picks here at this point. It's part of why the events of last night were so entertaining and stuff. Mickey, who just watched Zach go home after choosing not to use a veto on himself, is still pitching the idea that the veto should be used on somebody, not her. Now, again, we just went through this with Keanu. I doubt that actually happens, but you know. I really want to see Ashley walk out of this room and see if Rachel says anything. Even if we don't get a cam talk, I feel like whether or not Rachel says anything could be an indicator of how she felt about the conversation. because If she's feeling the way I would be feeling, I think I would not say anything on her way out the door. And I always say something. Like, I don't want to leave you hanging. But if you spend an hour talking to me about this and you walk out, you've had toilet paper in your pants this whole time, I don't think I'm saying anything. I don't think I'm doing it. This is going to make a segment probably in black and white from the toilet paper's perspective. Ashley, please. I just want to see what happens when you leave. I want to see if Rachel says anything to you and to the cameras. Rachel's standing. No, they cut away. You can't do us like that. Now Mickey and Morgan are throwing Lauren under the bus to Vinny. Now, here's the thing. I don't think Vince, again, has loyalty to Lauren, but I do trust that Vince recognizes that Lauren is his most valuable piece on the board alongside Keanu. I mean, Keanu's obviously super valuable, but Lauren is his best secret weapon. But honestly, it doesn't really affect him, to be fair. It doesn't really affect him that they're anti-Lauren at this point. I'm so mad they cut the moment. Don't worry, Ashley. There are other reasons you shouldn't want that conversation aired. I could be reading into this, but I do feel like Rachel's enjoyment of this could be a sign of how she feels about Ashley's pitch. Meanwhile, Morgan is still ranting about Lauren to Vinny, saying, to Vinny, I would have had more respect for Lauren if she had voted to keep Zach. She says, to Vinny. She's literally like, sometimes you like a girl just because of what she looks like, and then she doesn't even have your back. Ashley is literally doing the Keanu right now. No, we only hated each other because of a third party. All right. All right. Anyway, if you're over on YouTube, if you're enjoying the YouTube stream, I do have memberships now for the YouTube stream. There is a current promotion they're doing where I get 15 extra dollars for every person that becomes a member. So that's pretty cool. But as I said last night, no requirement, no hassle. There's not really any significant additional benefits beyond some cool badges and emotes and such. So for anyone interested, you can check that out. You get a robot. Yeah, exactly. Debbie, see Debbie's a member there with a little robot. Is YouTuber Twitch a better deal for the streamer? Honestly, I'm not sure. I currently make way more money on Twitch than YouTube, I'll tell you that. But I don't have memberships. I didn't have memberships enabled on YouTube until now. So that could theoretically make up a little bit of difference. Not that there's going to be nearly as many on YouTube. But you know, I guess maybe we'll see someday. Yes, we're doing that over on YouTube. What else? What else am I doing? Oh, I wanted to read another review, another Goodreads review. For Behind the Mirror. There are now 10 total reviews. And honestly, I don't remember which ones I've read on stream before. But this one looks good, and it's pretty new. Oh, wait, hold on. Mickey's in the HOH. They're just talking food right now. I think she's going to leave. Joe, thank you for becoming a robot over on YouTube. I appreciate that. I bet you Mickey is mad at Ashley for this. I bet you Mickey's like, I can't believe she was talking to Rachel for so long. Renegade, thank you for the 53rd over on Twitch. And Julian, thank you for becoming a robot over on YouTube. All right, they did not have a conversation. In fact, all of the conversations ended. So let's read a review here. This is by Ava, but not probably that Ava, because that would be pretty strange. Taran does an excellent job highlighting the connections between Big Brother, our society, and himself with vulnerable personal reflections that add additional depth to the analysis of the wacky yet strategic show of Big Brother. I've been a fan of Big Brother since season 12, and I am a fan of RJP and Taran for many years. I really enjoyed the reflection and history of 24 seasons of Big Brother US. I learned a lot about the concept and formation of the show, and it was very helpful to set the stage and contextualize the impact of Big Brother on its viewers and reality television. I enjoyed recapping the memorable characters, moves, and moments throughout the seasons. As I've watched all seasons except season 1, it was easy to follow and bring me back to those pivotal moments. I believe someone who hasn't watched these moments could still follow along because the messages that Taran highlights are less about analyzing specific seasons and more about the heart and impact of the show and tracking the strategic evolution over time. Taran brings his own personal connections and experiences into his writing that is easy to connect with and empathize with. The heart and vulnerability make this book unique and shows his passion for the show while reminding me of my connections to Big Brother throughout high and low moments of my own life. Taran also brings the emotion of the show to light many times, especially during the Taylor Hale chapter, where I teared up remembering her grace and resilience. Taran cites a dearth of sources, including first-hand accounts and interviews to support his claims and give the reader confidence of his knowledge and accuracy. I enjoyed the exploration of the claim that Big Brother is a reflection of us and vice versa. I believe he supported his discussion of these points well. Overall, this was a fun and surprisingly emotional discussion of Big Brother US that I would recommend to strategic reality show fans. How nice. That was so nice. Thank you. Thank you, Ava, for the review. We can also read this one. It's pretty short. This is by Mava. Not entirely sure how to pronounce it, but Mava says, I didn't know what to expect when I started this book. I have listened to Taran's podcasts for years and enjoyed them, and he managed to convey the same savvy and personable conversational style to the book. I didn't expect the book to move me to tears a number of times, to the stories of underdogs winning, and especially Taylor Hale, to the experience of exclusion and the fights against the many forms of racism embedded in the show. I was crying. This is both his personal story of growing up as a 10-year-old watching Big Brother to a history of reality television, a discussion of ethics, and many of the show's best moments and best characters over the years. It was written with insight, depth, and heart, and I loved it. How lovely. Thank you so much for the reviews. Lydia, thank you for becoming a robot over on YouTube as well. And Scoots with a 3rd month over on Twitch. Did I hear the whisper? I didn't. I had it muted. What was there a whisper? Rachel in the bathroom. She's lying. That tracks. Ashley's wrong. Okay, so maybe we're not entirely sure what the whisper was. Lee, thank you for the subscription. Welcome to the Robot Army. Rachel started to cam talk and they cut away. That's so annoying. All you heard was Ashley. DJ, thank you for the 6th month. Yes, the reviews are coming from the ARC, the advanced reader copies of the book that some people have managed to attain. Keanu and Vince. This is chess with humans, bro. I did send one to Kevin Jacobs, yeah. He actually just texted me the other day. He was on chapter 8, which he particularly enjoyed. He also helped with chapter 8, got me in touch with some people. Could Rachel beat Nicole's days record? I think no. I think no. She was evicted earlier than Nicole in 16, like 12 versus 16. Then I think in addition to that, 16 and 18 were both longer seasons. 22 was a longer season than this one as well, I think. Or was it actually? Either way, I'm pretty sure you can't. All right, let me see if I can find the whisper you guys are talking about. Hmm.
No. Ashley Spa.
Yeah, that I don't think that really was anything. I don't think I can definitively take anything from that. It does sound like she's saying Ashley Spa to me. But could be anything. Thank you for the book orders. I appreciate it. Now Ashley's talking to Morgan. All right. Anyway, I think it's time. I think it's time to call the stream. This should have been a more joyous occasion, quite frankly. But Ashley brought the mood down. Ashley brought the mood down because we can't have nice things without somebody trying to tank their own game. I don't know why she doesn't want these nominations when they're very good for her. We just want the best for you, Ashley. Either way, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate those of you that have joined the memberships over on YouTube, for the subscribers over on Twitch, for the patrons over on Patreon, and for anyone that has ordered a book. I am swimming in your support, and so I am deeply grateful. So I hope you continue to enjoy the coverage all season long. And I will certainly be live with an update tomorrow morning. And I'll see all of you then.